Don't quit your day job. That's what everyone says, isn't it? I hear it again and again. But I did just that. I quit my day job with no backup plan. Do I regret it? No. And I'm about to tell you why. So, don't quit your day job. This advice is given to people who are trying to break free from the grind. They're usually trying to start a business or work for themselves in some way. Then the father figure knowingly looks down at the naive youngling and says that horrible, horrible line. Well, don't quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job.
This video is for people who hate hearing that line, like me. So if you're one of those, keep watching. While this line is pretty condescending, I can recognize why people say it. Sure, they think it's wonderful that you're gonna try to start your own business or do some unconventional field of work. Or maybe they just think your feeble attempts at breaking free are just so adorable. Oh, you think you can be different? You think you can break free from the rat race? That's so cute. Good luck with that. Just don't quit your day job. There's those. Or, perhaps it's coming from someone who actually does care about you. Like a parent. They believe in you. Kind of. But they also want you to be safe. Or maybe they just want to make sure you ain't gonna move back in with them. I mostly think that principle, don't quit your job, is a good one. In general, I think it's good. I mean, yeah, let's say you're wanting to start a business. You need that good, steady job to keep you safe while you experiment a little bit. That is wonderful. Good for you, truly. Okay, but that's assuming you have the kind of job that people envision when they say this line. The good old 9 to 5. What the heck is that anyways? A nice, cushy office job? The kind of job that leaves you bored, itching for a stretch, mind aimlessly wandering. The kind of jobs I see in movies. You see, I have no idea what it would be like to work that kind of job. To have mountains of energy after work. To have drive and inspiration to work on your personal projects when you get home. What is that like? See, I'm on the lower tier of people. And I know it sounds bad to say that, but I realize there are those different tiers and people look down on the people in the lower tier. I'm in the tier that office workers look down on. I'm with the warehouse people. Yeah, my specific job was the most physically taxing job I have ever had. 10 hours straight of lifting boards onto pallets. And what's worse is I'm the kind of person who needs to work hard. Like, it's against my nature to do a slack job when I'm at work. All my coworkers were the opposite. My coworkers at this job were the laziest people I have ever encountered. And it made me so angry, and I kept all of that deep inside. I'd try my best not to show it at work and just shut my mouth, There it stewed and simmered, and maybe the simmer became a rolling boil at times. When I'd get home, I was just so completely exhausted. Like, it was all I could do to prepare the lunches for the next day. The job drove me so insane. I'd usually have 3 beers before collapsing in bed just so I could decompress enough to get myself to do it all over again the next day. My husband and I worked at the same place, just in different buildings, and we were both suffering mentally and physically. Our bodies were getting slowly destroyed. But what's worse, our minds were dying, shriveling up. We were getting more and more mentally trapped every hour we spent there. And we were becoming more and more stupid, honestly, because the people we had to spend our time around were just stupid. It's well known that you emulate who you hang around with. The kind of people you spend your time with, you start acting like them. It's just what happens. We were dying inside. And we were drinking way too much. I even collapsed at work one morning. I was so dizzy I couldn't even stand. Yeah, this was bad. Something had to change. We had to get out. We were at our breaking points. Finally, we did quit. We had no backup plan, but we quit. It was amazing. And we were intending to take at least the summer to just kind of breathe and work on creating our own revenue streams online. It was a nice thought, but we weren't counting on our minds being so messed up. You know what I did right away? I went and got some silly little job at a bagel shop that was within walking distance. My husband could not understand why I did that. I didn't understand why I did that. It was just this dinky little job. The pay was crap. Why did I do that? You see, I was mentally trapped. I couldn't envision not working. If you're not working, something is wrong with you, right? That's how I was raised. Jobs are good. You should be thankful you have a job. Why are you not working? It was a mistake for me to take that bagel shop job. I had to apologize to the owner, and I quit shortly after starting there. And that did not sit well with me. I hate doing that sort of thing, especially they were really nice people, but it was a huge mistake for me to do that, and I couldn't get myself trapped again just for the sake of pride in a way. My husband and I did not realize how hard it would be to just take some time and free our minds. We didn't realize how trapped our minds had become. It's wild. It has taken us so long to get to the point where we are now, and we are still so far away from where we want to be. But that's okay. Life is constant growth, or at least it should be. It's been 1 full year of changing our mindsets, and it has been brutal. I've had to realize how stupid I've been. I've looked back at what I should have done, and if only I knew then what I know now. What could have been had we only started this journey a long time ago. But that kind of thinking is trapping as well. It is better to see your errors and change than to stay blissfully oblivious to everything. It's really easy for me to look back at my past self with bitter resentment. I have to choose every day. It's a battle every day to look at myself with grace, to understand that this is a constant journey of self-development. Each step of my journey is necessary to get me to the next step. So how dare I resent the previous step merely for the fact that it was the previous step? The only reason I can have the understanding to loathe where I was at before is because I trudged through the mud to get to this point. There is no understanding without the mud trudging. So we've been focusing on a lot of input from people wiser than us. There are so many amazing resources on YouTube, people sharing their knowledge and experiences, podcasts, audiobooks. There are really amazing people out there, and they're all sharing their wisdom. In this modern time, we have so many amazing resources because of the internet. We can input so many more pieces of wisdom because of technology. I am really thankful for that, and I don't want to squander this opportunity to learn from so many others. This input has made me painfully aware of how much my mind has been lied to. Ever since childhood, through education. Even though I was homeschooled, the whole mindset of school, college, career was still drilled into me. Go to school, get a job. Starting one's own business was never talked about, really, not in a realistic way. It was more like, one of the fancy things those fancy people do, a faraway thing that wasn't applicable to the normal everyday person. It was always about getting a good job. Be a good little cog in the machine. It was never about running the machine. Just be a cog in the machine. It was never about creating your own machine. It was being a part of somebody else's. It's just so easy, man. No effort is needed. Just do what you're told. Our minds have been poisoned, and it has taken me pretty much this entire year to realize this. Crazy. I'm not proud of that. I know there are so many people out there who are way beyond me, and they're thinking, well, duh, you silly little nincompoop. What kind of idiot are you anyways? I get that. Trust me, I'm frustrated with myself as well, but perhaps you are watching and you feel you can relate to this. Do you have that nagging feeling that you're missing something? There's got to be more than just being an obedient little cog in a machine. then you are like me. You've got to totally obliterate your mindset. It is a violent, brutal process because it makes you realize how trapped you've been. You've got to go through it. To grow, you must. Find wise people on YouTube and fill yourself with their mindset. You know, just like working at the warehouse, being surrounded by stupid people, their mindset is coming at me. Can't help but get hit by it. Can't help but it to penetrate my mind. Find wise people and fill your mindset with their words. The two big obvious ones for us, it helped a lot too. They're really popular. Dan Koe, Alex Hormozi. They're two people who have done amazing things, and they have the kind of mindset I would like to emulate, so that's why I watch them a lot. I let them feed me. Find the kind of people you'd like to emulate and inundate your mind with their words. It's amazing to see your mind slowly unlock. It's also a little intimidating to see how frickin' long it takes to unlock your mind. I am still in the process, and it's been a year. And I know for me, this would have never happened had I not quit my job. I am not saying you should quit yours. Perhaps you have a nice job. Perhaps it doesn't completely drain you or kill your soul. Perhaps you still have the energy after work to spend an hour a day on your personal projects. If that's the case, I am truly happy for you. Awesome. Keep it up. But I also want to recognize how damaging some jobs are. Like the one my husband and I had. Sometimes the only way to save yourself is to get out of that situation. I mean, we were drinking ourselves into oblivion just to survive. That's no way to live. We had to get out. There is, of course, the obvious downside to financial stress. We had a bit of money saved up, a lot in our eyes, and we really don't spend very much money at all. And that money has gotten us through 1 year. For the first maybe 3 months, it was just a welcome relief to be jobless. But of course, the stress just creeped back up. Not having income feels like not wearing clothes. You're naked, exposed, vulnerable. It is definitely frickin' scary. We've been applying for better jobs for months and months and months, like even remote customer service jobs that we can do from home, but we never get accepted. As our time goes on, we fear that we will only be able to land another horrible job. It is terrifying to think that we're gonna get trapped again into the same cycle. So before you decide to quit your day job or not day job, think about that. I definitely was confident that after months of applying, I'd be able to land a work from home job. Apparently, I was wrong. Be careful if you quit. There are also those pesky little thoughts about this past year. Horrified that I didn't do more or do enough, or that I somehow wasted time doing the wrong things. But I have to remember each part of this year was a necessary step to get to the next level of understanding. I can't waste time with paralyzing thoughts about what's already transpired. All I can do is the next step. So in general, I support holding on to your job while you work on your personal projects, if it's a healthy thing for you. Perhaps you're lucky enough to be able to listen to podcasts while you work, or even work on your projects while you're at work. Perhaps your workplace is a healthy environment where people build you up and invest in you. But if you're someone like me, if you're stuck in a toxic, demeaning, dangerous, actively training you to be stupid and lazy kind of job, enough's enough. Sometimes you've just got to get out so that you can free your mind enough to even head in the right direction in the first place. It's scary, it's risky, I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes necessary all the same.